Before I start, I just want to say the mailbox hit me, and I didn't hit the mailbox. Facts. I know what you're thinking. How did she get a license if she hit a mailbox? Well, I like to tell you, I got my license after I hit the mailbox. It's worse if I did it without a license, you know? I will also like to say I'm still a licensed driver, and a random person's mailbox did not call the cops on me, which I am forever grateful. Hashtag love for the mailbox. But I did mess up, and I like to save y'all from doing the same mistakes that I did. So let me tell y'all what happened. Let's set the scene. Give me some dramatic music. Yeah. So, it was like any other Saturday. Chilling, doing what I do best. You already know. Annoying my sister. But let's say at like 5 o'clock I got a text message. It was something like this. Hey, is there any possible way we can hang out later? The first thing I wanted to say was no, because it was a Saturday just for me for this week, maybe next week, but I texted back, why? And she said, I really needed to hang out with someone. So me, being a great friend, I said, let me ask my parents, because I didn't have a car, so I needed their permission to go out. And I was actually going with the intention and pre-notion that the parents would say no because it was early convenience, which they don't like, and will mostly get a NO as a response. But to my surprise, my parents said yes. Wasn't expecting that. Not at all. So now I have to go. And this was before my growth was saying no to other people. But the worst part of it all was I had to drive the truck. I actually put a sigh in my script, so that sigh was intentional, but driving the truck wasn't the problem. As my dad said, anybody can drive in a straight line, but it was the parking and backing up and being conscious of the little small, tiny, little cute little cars and people. But actually, I enjoyed driving to her house, even though I almost missed the entrance to her neighborhood. It was good until I got there. I pulled into the driveway, which was smaller than what I was used to, and also the road was definitely smaller than everyday life for me, okay? Do you get the hints I'm dropping here? Continuing with the story, I was talking with her mom, and she complimented me on driving such a big truck and everything. Like, oh, did I tell you my friend's whole family was out there? Except for her father, that was actually waiting to get into the driveway because I took up the space. At that moment, I felt cool though, to be honest. I felt like John Wick or something. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. The whole family is here to greet me. I'm driving such a cool truck. I'm like a little kid. I'm driving a big truck, yeah. Like, whoo, you know what I'm talking about? And while my friend hopped in the car, I was receiving some more compliments and praises, which was boosting my ego to the max. But like, we gotta go, I'll bring her back in one piece, don't worry. So the mom stepped back and I started backing up. And while I was doing that, I'm thinking, the father of my friend is kind of close up to the driveway. Kind of takes a whole side of the road, So while I was backing up, I was looking at his van, so I went and hit it. Van. Let me repeat that again. It was a van. And also looking at the backup camera, so I wouldn't hit anything else. And I guess that the mailbox was in a position that I couldn't see, aka my blind spot. And remember, the roads are tiny too. So I backed straight up so I can get on the other side of the road. But the mailbox, I hit the mailbox. I hit the mailbox. I gotta be honest. I was tempted to drive off, but I remember my friend was in the car, so I did pull over to the side of the road. And before I got out of the car, my friend whispered, OMG, that neighbor is mean. He does not like my family. I looked at her and gave her the dirtiest look because why would you tell me that before I get out of the car and talk to him because he heard the loud noise of his mailbox getting torn in half? So that was a really bad move on her part as a friend. My nerves were through the roof when I stepped out of that truck. And to be honest, he looked kind of mean, but lucky for me, he was a nice guy and was not accepting any money or anything and was saying everything was fine. For his wife, though, she came out once and gave me the dirtiest look, which was valid, but like, dang, I never received such a look in my entire life. But the problem here wasn't that I hit the mailbox. Yeah, that was a big problem, but another thing that I didn't do was call my parents. I was so out of it that I didn't really think of calling my parents. Like, I for real forgot I had parents for a second. I was thinking like I gotta pay for like this thing that I just broke. It's like $20 right at Walmart. I could probably give them $20. That's all I had. I'm broke in high school, you know. I wasn't thinking because I never been in this type of situation before. So once he said it was fine for like the 10th time, and I asked him like 100 times over, I'm not proud of this next part. But we got in the truck and drove to our destination. Yeah. Not my smartest choice, but once we got settled at the place we were at, the thoughts came through. The oh crap, my parents thoughts came through. Yeah. So I was freaking out the whole entire time out on the inside. I was thinking like, should I call my parents now or should I wait till I get home? There was also another option I had, which was not to tell my parents because there was no mark on the truck. Nobody would have known. Well, except for my whole friend's family that saw the whole entire thing. But there was another reason why I didn't go with option number 3. And it's because I have this thing called guilt. So I can't lie. Even if I try to lie, I'll tell the truth a second later. So let's fast forward to when I dropped my friend off after having a good hangout, even though I was in my head the whole entire time. And I pulled up to her house again, where her mom said that I was too scared to park in the driveway again, which was wow. A total insult to my pride, and I was completely offended by it. So yeah, I said I was afraid. Like I said, I can't lie. And then while I was driving back home, I wasn't actually thinking about the traumatic event because I was blown away by night driving. I would totally recommend it with the music blasting. It's like a completely different vibe. Anyway, I pulled into the house and the guilt starts to form. I was trying to avoid saying anything until I got my text messages to people that I might not answer calls or messages for a long while. Have the comfort of my music for a little while longer. And I even had a practice run of telling my sister, which didn't help at all because she was looking at me like she was preparing for my funeral. But I worked up the courage. It went into my parents' room and they could tell that I was keeping something from them. Like they were saying I went somewhere else. Like I lied to them about where I was going, which I didn't do. I just hit a mailbox. When I told them that, complete silence. I felt like I was in one of those movies where the time stood still. No sound was made. No movement was made. Just silence. And then everything started rushing back. My dad was chill about it. He was just mad that I didn't call him at all. He didn't yell at me or anything. But my mother? OMG. energy. Dang! I got earful from her to the point where my dad had to start defending me because people get into accidents all the time. And he was just grateful that it wasn't worse. But my mom was acting like I killed someone. The only thing I killed was the mailbox. And technically, I didn't kill it. I injured it because it was completely fine once I dropped my friend off. Two different things. But you know what was interesting to me was to see two completely different reactions to a situation at the same time. It kind of enlightened me in a way. It stuck to me that we're a family, but we're all different at the same time. It's like we love in different ways, whether it's through yelling or just calm messages through text or something. I don't know. It was just interesting to me. It was just a learning experience, I should say. Anyway, my advice is just to be honest, bruh. Because the longer you wait, the more it gets worse. Luckily for me, the outcome was okay, even though I have years to come full of me hearing about me hitting a mailbox a couple months after getting my license. But they should have known this was coming, since I failed my driver's license test the first time. Yeah, I did. Shocking, right? Okay, totally not after my story just a minute ago, but I was confident that I was going to pass my first driving test because I practiced. And you know what people say? Practice makes perfect, right? However, I got humbled real quick. The 100 feet back up was my doom. But also my driving instructor was really loud, and I don't handle loud voices when I'm trying to concentrate on something. So that made me nervous. And the other problem was that I took some advice too seriously, like you can't look at your backup camera or they're going to fail you, or you gotta stop far away from the stop sign or they're going to fail you. And shockingly, those were the two main things that I was good at, but I still failed because of them the first time around, and I was embarrassed. But now that I think about it, I have no reason to be embarrassed. People fail all the time and they never give up. I also realized some of my friends weren't very supportive or encouraging after I failed my test. I just got made fun of for failing at something, and it got brought up every day, even after I got my license for about a month. I didn't have a driving class or anything or built a connection with the people who were instructing my tests. These people were random people I never met before in my entire life, but they were entrusting their lives to me. But I also realized I was the strong one because I didn't give up. Right after I failed, I rescheduled my next test for the following week. I didn't give up. I wasn't a failure, but the people that I call my friends made me feel like one. I don't regret failing the first time around. In all honesty, if I could change the past, I wouldn't, because of my failing. It taught me the importance of life. However cliche it is to never give up. It's the truth. If you give up, then what was the point of all those hours that was spent? So yeah, I became the comedic relief, or the one that boosts their self-esteem in some way for my failure and the mailbox incident. But at the end of the day, I think they were all learning experience for me. So I think it's critical of me to tell you that, just like I said a minute ago, to be honest and think of each moment as a learning experience. The mailbox and me failing was okay, but what's not okay is me feeling tired and my throat getting dry. So I'm going to dip and get me some food. So I'll see y'all later, and bye bye.